Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Sideshow Collectibles Masters of the Universe statue of none other than Skeletor. For the package, absolutely huge. You can see that I have to be in my dining room to be able to film, and I have to use my kitchen table because of just how massive this is. For the package, you got a really cool image of Skeletor there in the back, kind of as if he's peering through like a window or something. Then you got his name. Obviously, you got the Sideshow statue logo down here. You come around to the side, and you can see that that kind of background carries over, and then you come to the back of the package, and you have a much more full-scale image of Skeletor. And then on the inside, Skeletor himself is protected by some heavy-duty foam to ensure that when you get him, he'll be in perfect condition and ready for display. But for the package on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And this guy is absolutely gorgeous. I am beyond amazed at how incredible this piece has turned out. The level of detail throughout the entire piece, both in terms of the sculpt as well as the paint, including the actual fabrication here for the cape, really just absolutely blows me away. Now, he does actually come in a couple different pieces that you have to put together, but it's all really very simple. For example, you have the hand right here with the little magnetic section that you just bring up and you lock into place there. Same thing here with this hand. You just bring that in, lock that into place. The head also does remove, again, nice heavy-duty magnet. Now, there are two versions of this statue. This is the regular version, which I absolutely adore how wicked that looks. One thing that I love about it is it has a very real-world kind of look to it. Now, the exclusive version, I had a little piece of foam in his eye and that was messing it up, but you can see just how awesome that looks. Now, like I was saying, the exclusive version comes with a much more cartoon representation of Skeletor, that being, you know, the yellow face and everything. And as much as I love that look as well, I'm perfectly happy with just the standard version. I mean, looking at the detail, I mean, that is amazing detail throughout the entire thing. I love the paint detail on his eyes, the different dirt and things like capturing the various nooks and crannies of the bone itself is just wicked awesome. You come around to the back, you can see some nice sculpting with his little hood and everything. Now, as you can see, it just swaps on and off very easily. So if you get the exclusive version, it's easy to swap that off. But in the way that the rest of the body and everything else on this piece looks, I think that this head sculpt just works better. If this body and everything else was done in a little bit more of a cartoon kind of look, I think that that exclusive head would be a little bit better. But I do know that, you know, collectors love having that option, I guess. For me, I'm perfectly happy because I think that this head matches the body a little bit better. Now, as I talked about, I'm going to take some of this apart so that I can actually show this to you. The base is actually a separate piece. You've got a little peg here in the bottom that just pegs in. I'm just going to set that off to the side for right now so that we can take a look at the base itself. Now, coming in to take a little bit closer of a look at that, just the base is amazing. You can see that it's done in this kind of Snake Man / Snake Mountain sort of look. And they nailed it. I think that this really does look great. You have this whole snake set. It's almost creepy for me to touch this because I am terrified of snakes. But you can see that you got all these different cracks and things like that going throughout it, really replicating kind of Snake Mountain and how you got this whole stone section here in the middle that the snake wraps around and is like part of. And then you can see that on the inside here, or the bottom section here, you have all these different colorations with like lava, and then you got that coming around here as well, where it's actually coming out of the snake's mouth, flowing to the bottom, and then you can even see like ripples down there. I mean, I love that. Stupid awesome detail. You're absolutely spectacular. You come around to the bottom section and you can see that these are limited. This is number, I think, 151. I can't really tell what that number is. Kind of looks like a 5 or an S. I have no idea, but out of 4,000. Of course, you got the Masters of the Universe logo, Skeletor, and then you have these little foam pads that nicely protect it. So again, great detail throughout the entire thing. Got really creepy fangs, and again, for me, it's very creepy to have that because I am really terrified of snakes. And then while I'm still zoomed in here, taking a look at his Havoc staff, this is amazing in of itself. You got a really cool kind of opaque marble of sorts up here. You can kind of see how it's hitting the light, and you can see that you got a little bit of a more shadowy section up here, whereas on the back it's a little bit more clear. But gorgeous detail throughout the entire thing. I mean, even looking at the paint detail that's on there, it has a very, I mean, I mean, I know this is metal, but this just really feels heavy duty as well. I mean, absolutely stunning. And like in some aspects, like the light is really hitting it because I'm in my kitchen, as I said, but I mean, that's just really very spectacular. And then you look at the hand, and again, great shading and paint detail throughout the back of the wrist, or back of the hand guard, I should say. And then you come around to the actual hand, again, great paint variation throughout the entire thing. You can see his very creepy long nails. As I said, the actual pole itself is made out of metal, and then you come down to the bottom, and again, that same great intricate detail that the top section has, the bottom section has as well. As I said, when you do get them out of the package, you do have to assemble them a little bit. But coming in to look at this closer, I mean, stunning detail. I love the skull on there. I love how they actually have Hordak painted on the center of his whole belt there. You got the snake going around there, kind of denoting the snake men. Hordak obviously was his master, so it makes sense that that would be in there. And then again, great detail with his little loincloth, looking at his arms, great intricate detail with the wrist gauntlets. You got those bone pieces that come around all the way to the back, and you can see that he does have a cape. You don't have to have it on there, but I just think, especially with him, it gives a much cooler sort of look. And then you look at the intricate details up here. I mean, just absolutely stunning. Great paint detail throughout the entire body. Great shading with his various muscle and things like that. Come down here, you got some more skull work on his shin pads, and again, great detail even with his feet. I mean, that turned out really very awesome. And then all you do is you come around here, you got a little peg hole, sit that right in, wedge that in there, and you're starting to see what he looks like. Now, he does come with his version of the Power Sword. Now, if you're familiar with He-Man, both He-Man and Skeletor had one, although Skeletor's really didn't power him up or anything, but it's all one piece. You got the sheath, and then you got the top section for the sword, but again, great detail. My camera's having a hard time focusing on things because of all the stuff in the back, so hopefully you guys can see that very well, but that is absolutely terrific. And again, amazing intricate details. I mean, all these tiny little molded sections have great paint added to them that really help to make them pop. Even coming down to the bottom section, just absolutely stunning. Then you got the little knob section right here that when you come to the back of the figure, you can see that you have that right there. Now again, you don't have to have his cape in there, and it's magnetically attached. So you just put it in there and it sits in there really nicely. Now, as for his cape, I really should have ironed this. I do apologize for not doing that, but it does come folded up. You can see the fold marks and stuff on there. If you had an iron, put it on very low. It's very much like a silk material, so just run it over it real quick. You'll get all those lines out. I don't mind it too much, but I mean, some of the straight lines, like for example, right there, obviously do stick out, but this is an amazing kind of fabricated piece as well. As you can see, it's separate from this. So looking at here, you look at the bottom, and it's grimy, it's dirty, it's gross. I mean, it's really, I don't even know how to describe it. It literally feels as if it's just disgusting or something. It's amazing the amount of detail that they got into that fabrication for this. And you can see on the bottom section on the purple bit, you got some nice kind of water stained marks and some dirt and everything throughout this entire set. Just absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the aspects that I love about it, and you don't even necessarily have to use this. You can take this section, and again, great detail on which way is this going to go? It goes like that. Great detail again with this piece that you can come around here. And again, you don't necessarily have to put the cape, but you can slide that in there, just like so. And then obviously take his head, and you can put that in there. And I mean, if you wanted a version of Skeletor that didn't have his cape, and then obviously you put this little piece right in here, just like that. If you didn't want to have his cape on there, which is a little bit more how he looked in the cartoon, you could do it, and it doesn't take anything away. You come around to the back, and you can still see all that gorgeous detail. I mean, even if you wanted to take this top section off, which he really didn't have anything like that. If you just wanted to have something like that, I mean, that kind of looks cool in of itself as well. I kind of like having this on there a little bit more because it plugs in these little top section holes so you can make it look a little bit more streamlined. But overall, like I said, even without the cape, it's an amazing piece. It's almost a shame to put the cape on because you do hide some of this stuff here on the back, but I really do think that the cape just adds so much to it. So putting that on there, I'm going to remove this stuff. You take this little section here and you put the holes through there. So it's really very simple to do it. Get that on there like so. Make sure you push that all the way up and then bring it over and slot it down just like so. And then obviously you'd want to futz with it some to get it looking very evil and menacing looking. And then obviously you got this little section here in the back that goes into like a little V where you can still take his sword and put that in there like that. But I mean, it's wow. I really am amazed at how great this looks. If you are a Masters of the Universe fan, these are absolute necessities to have in your collection. They just look terrific. I remember seeing this, I want to say at PowerCon, to be totally honest with you, and it just blew me away at how great this looked. Maybe it wasn't PowerCon, I know it was a convention, but I mean, again, you do really want to futz with this to get the cape looking very cool, but everything on this is spectacular. The amount of detail, the cape itself in terms of the dirt and the grime, the rest of the paint variations throughout the entire thing, whether it be the snake base or the figure itself, all spectacular, just simply spectacular. And that pose is really very creepy and menacing. I mean, I also have He-Man, and we're going to be taking a look at that here shortly. But honestly, I think that Skeletor is better looking. I mean, that's not to say that He-Man doesn't look great. Everything on this just captures my eye. I mean, I'll look at down here with the snake, and then I'll look at the detail here and how each little rivet is nicely painted. And then I'll look, oh man, look at the detail on that. And I'm like, oh my God, look, it's got that up there too. And oh, his face. I mean, everything. I just constantly, and then I'm like, look, is that like actual like mud and dirt on the back? I mean, and it feels like it. So it's like every aspect of this just has been incredibly well done. I mean, I literally could just sit here and ramble for the next 15 minutes and make this a stupid long video, but really that is about it. As I said, this is the standard version. I do think that the Sideshow exclusive version is sold out, but if this is a piece that you'd like to add to your collection, it is available right now on Sideshow. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow Collectibles where you can check out availability on this, and really, if you're a He-Man fan, you will not be disappointed in it. This is one of the most gorgeous looking Skeletor pieces I have ever seen. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So don't forget that if you like this video, to please smash that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or if you're already subscribed, be sure to click on that little bell right below this video, and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.